A hard stop in my marriage story. I've been married 8 years, have 3 kids. My wife had an affair 4 years ago, and during, absolutely denied something was going on. She played it off as innocent and platonic. Though I had a gut instinct and confronted her about her actions, she denied and even went as far as to say that I should feel like an idiot for thinking that way. It was only after I found out, through emails, that she could not deny anymore. She begged and we agreed to work things out rather than get a divorce. Fast forward to present day. For the most part, things got better. She was an open book as far as texts, emails, Facebook, etc. until about last year. She took the position that she is a grown woman and should be able to have friends, guy or girl, as long as it's not crossing any boundaries. As such, she has been texting a co-worker a lot since last year that I accused her of having an EA with, and of course she denies. It's come into waves. Last year we fought about it heavily to where I thought our marriage was over, and then all of a sudden she stopped and our marriage seemed to get better. The texting appears to have started up again since March of this year. Of course, I brought it to her attention again, and she says it's only a friendship and will never be anything more. Needless to say, I am on guard due to our past, and very insecure. Because of my insecurity and neediness, we had a huge fight in July. She went to her family and told them how I am so needy, but nothing about her actions. Since then, things have been cold between us. Another thing I don't like is that she goes to her girlfriend's house in the evenings. With her past, it makes me wonder if she's going somewhere else. I don't have proof that she is having an EA, and that she is not going to her friend's house, but since things are so cold, I don't know what to do or think. My reservations with divorce are that it would be hard on my kids. They've expressed to both her and I, recently, that they never want us to divorce. As far as putting a GPS on her phone, I don't know her passcode and do not know what a VAR is. Additionally, if she is indeed cheating, I'd like some concrete evidence to expose her to everyone and make her life a living hell. Without concrete evidence, she will easily manipulate the situation and make me out to be the needy, insecure husband. One thing that makes me wonder if she would ever stoop to having sex with someone else again is the fact that we both just got tested for STD and HIV and were both negative. Since her affair 4 years ago, she's been afraid of having an STD, so receiving the recent news that we don't, and the fact that she is so afraid of getting one makes me wonder if she would do that again. Now the EA is a different story. I'd like to get concrete evidence, so that I have proof and not just an assumption. This is where it gets tough. I don't have access to her phone because she has a passcode on it that I don't know. She doesn't use the computer much, so a keylogger would likely not do too much good, and a VA may help, but my concern is that she'd find it before I could get concrete proof and then make me out to be an insecure guy to her family. Another stupid hang-up I have that I can't seem to shake is the fact that my wife is very attractive. She gets attention everywhere we go, so like a stupid man, I feel I will not be able to get anyone like her again, and I can't bear the thought of another man with her. The atmosphere at home is very cold, and like I said before, I am getting used to the lack of affection and being on my own. That said, I am afraid of divorce, so it is something I am going to take carefully. I am tired of living like this, being married but feeling single. Life is too short to spend my days miserable. I plan on putting my foot down to tell her I've had enough and let the chips fall where they may. The only snag right now is that we have a trip to a theme park planned for next week, which the kids are really excited about, and I don't want to mess it up for them. She is a master manipulator. Wow, last night she got in bed and turned around, like normal now, and didn't say a word, so my anger got the best of me and I told her, so I guess we're not saying goodnight anymore either, huh? To which she replied, why do I always have to be the one to say it? I said whatever and turned around and fell asleep. This morning I didn't say much, so she just called me and asked why I was so quiet. Told her I'm done pushing being affectionate, to which she said, me too. She seems to think she is also affectionate and that I am too needy, that I need affection from her to feel secure in the marriage. I responded by saying I'm sorry. I thought married couples were supposed to be affectionate. My mistake. I also told her that I'm not needy and that she needs to get off that idea. She hung up pissed. She's headed to her counselor today, so I'm sure she's going to make me look like needy POS. She already feels I am with her all the time, according to past arguments. She's talked with her family about me having to be next to her all the time, including family functions, which is hilarious to me because I've never ever felt I had to do that and never have. I am usually socializing with others. But for some reason though, she says her family sees it and to them I am needy. Anyway, while she was out, I checked her Facebook, and to my surprise, there was nothing. In fact, she had a couple of private messages from guys she knew in high school or from her past telling them she was married. There were no websites that threw up red flags at all. The kids were not home either, but I can tell she was online consistently until we got home because it logs the time. For sure I thought I'd find something. This was surprising to me. New update, after really looking into the call logs, it got me pissed enough to tell her something. She called me and I told her I was done, that she talked and texted the other man way too much and there was something going on. I am not taking it anymore. Of course, her usual "we're just friends" defense came right up. I told her that was BS and that no one texts and talks to someone that much and are just friends. I told her it stopped now, and if not, I was going to the OM and her boss. Oh, she got pissed, telling me, "Why would you go to my boss? What does he have to do with it? You are so good in running your mouth, even though I have not told a soul." Anyway, the conversation went on with her blaming me for everything and that they were only friends. I told her BS, it stops or I'm done. She said, "I'm moving out, do what you have to do." She then tried to give me a sob story about, "Well, if you do print out the records and try to smear my name, I am taking the kids and moving far away." I told her, "Sorry, I will be sure to file a document in court stating that you can't take the kids out of the county. Either way, I feel good now, but I know my high will be coming down and it is going to kill me inside. But enough is enough." I told her, "What you have with the OM is not a friendship, so stop telling me that. I just hope you are not stupid enough to have had sex with him, seeing as how you just got a negative result for the STD test." To which she replied, "I'm not that stupid. Whether she did or didn't, she has that in her mind now. If she did, she may be wondering about an STD. She just called me back and said, 'You win, I won't call or text the OM. I will stay with you for the kids, but no promises.' To which I replied, 'I'm not staying a fake marriage.' After a little go around, she finally said, 'Okay, I love you,' and I said, 'If you did, you wouldn't have done that to me,' and then she got irate and said, 'Fine, I'm done.' Initially in the conversation she asked, 'What do you want to do? I ruined your life.' And then she had the nerve to still continue to say it was a friendship. She wants to talk about it, and wants to try. She said she is going to stop. She also admitted she is afraid of her name being smeared, and for the kids, she said she will try. I told her, 'Don't do me any favors. That is where we are at. She is with the kids at an event, so I'm sure she'll call me back. Oh, and she also gave me this little bit. I can tell you I did not sleep with the guy, if you are thinking that. She tried telling me that she has to talk to another person because I'm boring and too routine. I'm sorry, but I work and go to school full-time and then take care of the kids while she is having a good time at work. I haven't eaten all day, developing a headache, and feel very weak. Not to give in, but weak as in I don't know where to go from here. I'm keeping my foot down, but the pain is really starting to set in. Not much to update from yesterday, really. I didn't see her most of the day, as I was at a soccer tournament with 2 of my kids and she was elsewhere with our other child. She's still trying to play cold, like if I am the one that wronged her. It's not really affecting me in the least. However, my heart is broken. I don't show it in front of her, I just interact with my kids, and other than that just keep to myself. A day again I will not be home until the evening, so I won't see her until then. I can't say I am quite detached from her or the situation, but feel okay. From time to time, I don't know why though, what hurts me is the thought of her dressed up nice on the arm of another man. Or of course in bed with another man. When thinking of that, it feels like someone is reaching into my chest and squeezing my heart, only if it was physically happening. At some point I'll be gone. The pain I feel just keeps going. I know my wife is scared because she had a moment of weakness and told me she was, but I don't think she feels guilty. She never likes to be the one at fault, whether it be little things or big things, like an affair. So blame shifting is her defense mechanism. I believe that if she could turn the tables and find a good enough reason so that people saw me as the bad one and her as the battered wife, she would leave me. I think she thinks I'd be lost without her. She's actually told me that before. I'd be extremely hurt, especially seeing her with another guy, but I'd love and eventually move on. I've told her that too, so I think she's trying to give me a little sample of how things would be if we're already divorced, to see if I'll blink. I feel like getting a D will give her the freedom to then talk to the OM and whomever else, so in turn she wins, and regardless, I'm the loser in this whole thing. Is that true, or is my mind just ducking with me? My wife has not even brought up the D word, and I know for a fact is reluctant to go to court. When I initially exposed her and told her I was done and that everything would be exposed in court, she said that she was not going to ask for child support and that there was no need to go to court. Since I've worked for attorneys for 15 years, I know my way around the legal field. She does not have the money for an attorney, and I know for a fact her mother will not give her a dime, because no matter how much she may make me look bad, her daughter was unfaithful and I am a good father. My mother-in-law knows that. Nevertheless, it is surprising to me how much I don't find her attractive anymore. Though she is an attractive person physically, I only see her filth that is inside her. Though I still hurt and would probably be devastated to actually see her with someone else. I am proud of myself for feeling detached. I did not want to lose her whatsoever. This one, I am just done. I already told the mother-in-law. What I am understanding from the attorney is that I should proceed as things are now. Right now, I am looking at no child support, no marital support, and likely 50-50 with the kids. Per her own words. My concern, and my attorney's concern, is that if I further expose or go after the OM, she may change her mind and ask for child support, marital support, and even try to get more of the custody, and like Disenchanted said, exposing may not do a lick of good. That's where I am confused. I feel I should continue the 180, act on the D, and if she truly wants to save the marriage, she can prove it to me. If not, I'm already headed down the right road. Depending on what happens, then I can think about what type of retaliation so that it doesn't come back to bite me beforehand. Really having a hard time today. Either she is better than me at keeping strong, or she truly doesn't give a crap about me and our marriage she is throwing away. Update. Last night I let her have it again. She was talking to me about a work situation, and she brought up the OM's name. I got angry and asked why she would bring up his name. She in turn got angry at me and said she had to because he was present at the time. I told her it was a slap in the face to me, and she said that I was acting immature and was not being a supportive husband, and so we basically argued for the remainder of the night. Was I in the wrong? Should I have just listened to her story? It genuinely made me mad that she brought his name up. FYI, she has stopped all contact with the OM from her job. I've been monitoring, however our financial situation does not allow her to quit and look for another job, so she is going to have contact with him at her work. Or is not going to work right now. That is why I am just moving forward on my own and really only spending time with my kids. She is an intelligent person, but because she is working and going to school and has kids, she gets praised for it like if she's Mother of the Year. She thinks her actions are justified because she's stressed and has so much on her plate. Dealing with marital issues is just not a priority. At least that's how she makes it sound like, and so I am really resentful of her right now. I am growing to dislike her very much. Sorry to disappoint to the people reading this story, but honestly, I don't care what expectations you have of me, or anyone else for that matter. I have taken a lot of advice from people here, and am using it. However, some does not apply or will not work in my situation. Though at times I do get upset and irate, I feel very strong about how I am acting towards my wife. She does not have the same hold on me she once did. Do I want to lose the 8 years of marriage and family? No, but I am prepared to start a new life, and am acting like it. I really do not feel like I am in limbo. I am living my life for me and my kids, and for the moment I am okay with that. If she makes a drastic change and we can great. If not, I will be ahead of the game, and will likely be able to move forward as I have been. Half a year later, yesterday I finally found the proof. Turns out she and the co-worker spent a weekend together a few months ago. She used the excuse that she was going with her friends for a girls' weekend. Typical, right? Make a long story short, I have a hotel receipt with his name on it, and the phone records showing her calling me and others from the same town on the same weekend. I confronted her about it, and of course at first, she tried to deny it. When she realized she couldn't deny it, she started crying and saying she knew she messed up and that it was a stupid mistake she regrets. Blah blah blah. Though she appeared remorseful, it's hard to know if she really is sorry about it or sorry. She got caught. She offered to leave and I didn't stop her. She sounded remorseful during the argument, but when she texted me this morning to ask about the kids, she appeared to have a much different attitude. Do I want to work things out? I don't know, and apparently, she doesn't know either. She appears not to even want to talk about it anymore. All I know is I am dying with this pain in my heart. Can't eat, didn't sleep, and somehow got out of bed, dropped off the kids and came into work. I don't know where the OM lives, but I did send him a text to tell him I found out what they did and that he and my wife are scum. Told him to stay away from my family. He will either text back with something disrespectful, or not text back at all. I am angry, but the pain is making me weak. I am going to implement the 180, and am doing so now. Trust me, I feel like calling, texting her and spewing the anger I feel, but I'm not. I agree with everyone that says that I've been too soft. I am a forgiving and nice person. I hate that. I wish I was colder-hearted like her. Every time I think of what she did, or her and the POSOM gone for the weekend, the anger comes back though. I'm not laying down this time. I don't deserve to get treated like that. She came home last night and I kept with the 180. Didn't even acknowledge she had gotten home. I basically stayed on opposite sides of the house. She did finally come into the bedroom and said, "Well, are you going to talk to me?" I reiterated how low she was for doing what she did, and of course she tried to flip it on me, saying our marriage had been rocky for a while. Blah blah. I said that she not only cheated on me, but the kids as well. Funny thing, when I mention the kids, she goes off the deep end and gets defensive, insisting that her affair does not define her as a mother and that she is there for her kids. Long story short, she does not show remorse. She is condescending about our and being transparent, therefore I told her I was done. I am filing for D as soon as my attorney can, and I am done playing her stupid conversation games. I get the impression she doesn't really think what she did was all that bad because our marriage has been cold for a while, and so now she wants to get out of this with as little damage to her reputation as possible. She is a POS, and though I don't regret the kids, I wish they had a different mother. At first, I wanted to take her to court and destroy her image, but my attorney said that may make me feel good but may not bring the best outcome financially. I asked about R and he said that if there was any possibility of R happening, I should explore it because D can get expensive regardless of court or mediation. Unless she waives it, I will have to pay child support. Right now, things have been decent. Not great, but not bad. I still have my down days, but what's causing the issues is her family and mine. Everyone is pissed at her, but we're basically getting pressure to work things out for the kids. I'm grateful to everyone that wants that to happen, but it's causing more inner turmoil for me than anything. I wish people would mind their own business and quit telling me what she is doing, what she is, and how I shouldn't let her treat me. I'm not sacrificing anything. We agreed on when they would stay with me and when they would stay with her. My oldest daughter, which is 14 and not biologically mine, stays with her overnight 100% of the time, but I pick her up from school and see her during the day when it's my turn with them. The two that are not mine don't have fathers in their lives, otherwise it would be different. I am it since they were little, therefore I bonded with them and they bonded with me. She is a user, but she is not using me in that she's using me as a babysitter while she does what she wants. I refuse to let do any kind of favors for her. What's funny is that it appears she is trying to do something of the 180. When she drops of the kids, that is. She is trying to be cheerful and happy like if she doesn't have a care in the world. The only thing bothering me is that I still feel some attraction to her for her body, as in lust, because I'm a man, but I am working hard to see her for the monster she really is so that I find her repulsive, period. Little update. Now the extended family is finding out what she did, and she is livid. She continues to blame me because people are asking, and even looking up the OM online. She argues with me every time we swap the kids, and calls my family nosy or whomever is asking or looking this POS up. It does get to me. It makes me mad she can't own up to what she did. It ruins my day. I am really getting to dislike this person, and it sucks big time that I have to have interaction with her. I know that if I saw her with another man, I'd get jealous, but honestly, I am not attracted to her in any way anymore. Like I said, I still have feelings for her, and if I saw her with another guy, it would hurt and I'd be jealous, but I am fed up with her attitude and cheating ways. The news of what she did is spreading like wildfire, and she hates it. Not going to lie, it is affecting me too though. I have family members and friends calling me and texting me, and I really don't want to hear it anymore. I want to be left alone, put it behind me and move on. Divorce is final and she didn't ask for anything. No child support, no spousal support. I keep everything as far as tangible property and my money in my bank accounts. She was such in a hurry to file that she drafted all the paperwork and paid the $435 filing fee. The divorce petition favored me so much I didn't even respond or oppose, which saved me the $435 fees of responding. I just let it proceed through the court until final. When she moved out to be with POSOM, she left me all household items including furniture. Since things didn't work out with POSOM and her most recent BF, she's out on her back living with a friend and nothing but the clothes on her back and minimal money. Things worked out for me, but I don't shake the hands of parasites. I'd rather just laugh and live happily. She doesn't want a husband that treats her well, a family under one roof, a happy marriage and normal family life. She wants drama that makes for an exciting, albeit destructive, life. She has always wanted something new, fresh. Clothes, cars, purses, furniture, pets, it all gets old after a while. She lives for the newness of things. Horrible cycle to live by, but that's her. Broken people's personalities with social media, and it creates a mess. Too many choices to settle down with just one person. Now anyone can reach out to anyone without having their phone numbers. A man can send a message to any woman, married or not, and test her interest. If the woman is prone to cheating or on the fence and has some interest in the guy, it's a done deal. I know many more single, divorced people than have been married long-term. I, myself, don't plan on marrying again. If, when I find someone I want to be in a relationship with, I may live with them, but I don't plan on marrying. No reason really, in my opinion. 3 years later, 3 years or so after D, I'm in a new relationship where I get treated great. No worries of infidelity, but I'm finding myself feeling suffocated. After D, I lived alone, had my kids every other week, and got used to being single. I actually got to enjoy it very much. I did what I wanted, watched what I wanted to on TV, ate what I wanted, felt good to be independent with no residual pain from D. Me and ex get along great as far as custody of the kids. She met someone new and is engaged. We both moved on. About a year ago I met someone who is attractive, treats me great, treats my kids great. And her family is great. We see each other often but don't live together. Only thing is she's a little bigger than what I'm used to. She's not fat, just not slim-figured like my past significant others. She has stayed overnight here and there, and I'm okay, but recently she stayed for an extended weekend and I felt suffocated. I don't know why. She cooks, cleans, is responsible, has a job, pays for her share, is extremely generous in all areas, and infidelity is a non-issue. But it doesn't feel right to me. I'm not used to it. So I find myself wondering if I'd feel better staying single and just hooking up with random girls, or developing a FWB scenario with someone. I have also developed thoughts of cheating on her with slimmer, more attractive girls, and I don't know why. Does this have to do with being cheated on and seeing my ex come out of this relatively unscathed? Does this have to do with my previous taste in women? Why am I feeling this way now that I finally found someone that is everything my ex wasn't? Comments. It is possible that after being in a bad marriage and enjoying living the single life for a while, that you are not ready for someone to invade your space. Unless you just do not see a future with your current girlfriend. Why not slow things down and see if that changes how you feel? She doesn't have to stay for extended weekends. If you enjoy her staying the night, but not the weekend, then keep it at a night. Give yourself time to get used to someone else sharing your space. Give yourself time to figure out why you feel the way you do. There is no need to end things, as long as you talk to her and explain why you need to take things slow. Be honest. For example, tell her that you feel like maybe you don't deserve to be treated so well, because you are used to women who are manipulative and unfaithful, and you don't know how to blindly trust someone because of that. Tell her that after being in a bad marriage, you can sometimes feel overwhelmed and need time alone once in a while. Tell her you don't want to rush into anything too serious with her, because you just aren't ready for that kind of emotional commitment yet. It really isn't a bad thing to tell someone, I enjoy your company, but sometimes I just need my space. If she is the good woman you say she is, she will understand. If you really don't see a future with her, then end things. If it is just fear and the past haunting you, slow things down and see how it goes. Whatever you do, don't be unfaithful or lie. You know how it feels to be on the receiving end, so don't be the one who doles it out. Dude, I have read your stuff for a while. With all the sincerity and good intention I can muster, I say the following: you sound like someone who has no clue about healthy relationships. You make up theories and judgments about relationships, and jump into conclusions with no real thorough understanding of why. You say your ex is happily married. How do you know? You reach conclusions about long-term relationships. The claim about being needy, about affection, etc. You need help, not random strangers online, whom you also praised because, as you said, you have no one to talk to. That is not healthy. Now you have issues of not being controlled. What are you, 15? Of course not. You are an adult with some very immature coping and judgment skills. Explore the reason why with a real-life flesh and blood person that you can see and touch, that you actually see in person. Until then, you are going to flounder. Like a lot. Like you are. 2 years later, update. Okay, so I'm not quite married yet, but we have the date set and are in the last stages of planning. This is my second marriage, and I'm older than she is. I learned a lot from my first marriage, but she's never been. Long story short, both our kids, each from previous relationships, play sports, so we are pretty busy, and sometimes have to go in separate directions during the week for practices and weekends for games, but for the most part we spend time together, though we don't live together yet. I have coached my son for years and recently moved him to a different club and stopped coaching but took on a different role with the new club. I enjoy coaching and being involved in my son's sports and other activities, and it's what I would call a hobby. I don't do anything else outside our relationship. Well, turns out that my fiancée did not like that. According to her, I shouldn't be taking on any new responsibilities since we are already too busy. We got into a pretty big argument, and she almost called the wedding off because she says I'm being selfish. I've always been involved in my kids' sports, and it doesn't take a ton of time from my schedule. I feel she's being clingy and selfish. I told her that it's healthy for a couple to have other interests, and her response was that if that's the case, we might as well stay single. Another thing that causes a fight is when my kid's mom calls. We never talk about anything other than the kids, and they are very short conversations, but she feels me and my kid's mom shouldn't talk anymore. My ex is remarried and our conversations are minimal and strictly about the kids, so I don't understand why it's always a fight when that happens. She tells me I don't need to answer the phone. My comment: this is one of the more emotional roller coasters I have in this channel. OP finally leaves a troubled woman, but gets himself into another troubled marriage. Is this really what he wants? Tell me how you feel about this story down below. Sub and bell, and let's see if there's some light at the end of the tunnel.